Welcome to the Talking the Line podcast, presented to you by Talking the Line Sports Media, giving you our best insights and analysis so you can rake in some cold hard cash on your next sports bet. Now sit on back, open up your mind, and let's cash some tickets. We can't thank you enough for joining us. We hope you enjoy. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, degenerates and gamblers far and wide. Welcome in to episode number 59 of the Talking the Line podcast. Hey, thank you so much for taking a few moments out of your day to come and kick it with the crew on this beautiful Tuesday of bets. Now, before we talk some lines today and share the value that we found across today's slates with you guys, please take a few moments to smash that subscribe button on whatever platform you are currently ingesting the TTL pod on, whether it be on YouTube or the audio recorded version on your favorite podcasting directory. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a single one of our episodes. Make sure you turn on the notifications as well if you're on YouTube so you don't miss anything there and you're always up to date. In addition, if you could be so kind, go ahead and hit that like button as well. Leave us a comment, leave us a rating, all that good stuff. We cannot tell you how much we appreciate it when you do, and it only allows us to continue making Talking the Line Sports Media bigger and better for each and every one of you. And last but not least, head on over to this episode's description where you will locate the Talking the Line link tree. It's the first link tree, or the first link there, rather. Within that link tree, you will locate all of the TTL Crew's content so you can consume it however and whenever you please. Beautiful gambling people joining us on today's episode. First and foremost, I am your humble host, Colton, Colt 45 Sroka, and I can't thank you enough for taking the time out of your day to come and kick it with me and my partner. Without further ado, it's time to bring in that aforementioned partner, the co-host of the TTL pod, a man who I am very grateful to call one of my best friends. I can't leave a few of you guys out there just in case you're watching, but also a man that I lock arm in arm with every single day and go to battle with the books. I would not want to have any other man by my side in this journey. And without further ado, let me bring him on in for you guys so he can share some knowledge with you. The man, the myth, the degenerate gambling legend himself, Mr. Riley RMags Magnuson. Partner, how you doing over there today, pal?
My man, I'm doing pretty damn great. That was one of your better intros in a while, I feel like. But, I am cashing tickets alongside you. We are rolling right through the week. Another day, another dollar, quite literally for us over here. So, let's have a damn show.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate your kind words. Try and always give a little bit of hype, get the show going, get you on the same level, and get us just right off on the right foot. So appreciate you being here with me as always, partner. You said we brought in some dough. You a little bit more than me last night, but across the board, very well as a crew. We're a full transparency show here at the Talking the Line podcast, so we might as well just get right into it. No hesitation, no delay. Let's recap yesterday's best bets. All right, on the left side of your screen, as always, you got RMags best bets from yesterday. He went 2-1-1. Great win with the Reds first 5 plus a half and the A's first 5 money line. Both wins there. Rough loss for the Royals first 5 money line. The Tigers absolutely destroyed them. If you listen to yesterday's pod, I actually said that the Tigers were kind of iffy for me. I should have played them. I ended up riding Mags. Not upset with it at all. Loved your analysis, partner. And then just a rough rough push there for the Twins, tied 3-3 with the Mariners after 5.
Yep,
So
bottom
got your
5
money
push
back
there.
And then for me, my Cubbies absolutely got obliterated. I thought Arrieta would have a little bit better showing than he did, but apparently not. Blue Jays, first 5 plus a half, lost it 1-0, and then lost the full game 2-1, which killed our Monday Madness parlay, which I'll get into in a minute. But got my Hawks +3 and got the Rockies first 5 plus a half, 2 of my better plays of the day that I really, really liked. And I thought the Jazz were going to be able to get something done. But like my partner was telling you, the Clippers unleashed that next level of defense, and I had to eat my words there. So ended up going 2-3 on the day. The Blue Jays was absolutely brutal. Killed me. Killed our Monday Madness parlay. Me and Mags both loved the money line yesterday. Man, oh man, the Reds ended up pulling away. Montreal, Vegas right at the end, got under 4-1, got under the 5.5, and then the Blue Jays got walked off by the Red Sox 2-1. So brutal.
Thought they were going to put up at least a 5 spot on the Red Sox yesterday, partner, but don't know what happened there.
I don't either, and especially after putting up 18 runs in the previous game, and then we can only put up 1. All their best players all of a sudden now cannot hit the ball. Very head-scratching to me.
I know a lot of times when a team puts up north of 15-plus runs, a lot of times the next day can be a little bit shaky, but thought it would be better than 1 run there.
Maybe mental note. Mental note going forward, kids. The ebbs and flows of the MLB 162-game regular season that we are fast approaching the halfway point. For the final recap here, bottom left of your screen, if you're listening and now watching, Nationals money line for the Moneyline Dice roll. Got the big dub. The Dice doubled down on the home money line yesterday. And Dice start off hot, going 1-0 to start the week. You could call it 2-0, but since it's a double down, we'll call it 1-0. So Dice starting off hot. Overall, crew not starting off too bad. What do we see there, partner? We see 4, 4, and 1. 4, 5, and 1. So 5, 5, and 1. So basically a break-even day for the crew there. Nothing too crazy. But you know the deal here. We're not here just to cash some of the tickets. We're here to cash all of the tickets. We're not here to keep these books in business. We're here to bankrupt them all. So without further ado, cut all the nonsense, cut all the banter, cut all the drama that you could get on every other show. You come here for the Stone Cold Locks and running tickets to the window with the TTL crew all day and night long. My partner knows it, but I'm about to share with you. We got one hell of an episode coming at you today. Coming right up here with the first segment very shortly, RMags best bets of the day and my best bets of the day. We got 8 picks in total coming at you if you did not read this episode's description. We will then get into today's special play of the day, the Twofer Tuesday Parlay. Got that coming up right for you. Some juicy plus 215 odds on a 2-leg parlay. Moneyline Dice obviously making their usual episodic appearance and going to give us another pick for another MLB matchup tonight. Their role is on the game between the Yankees and the Blue Jays. Then, of course, me and my partner got some good stuff, sports gambling news to dive into in today's Rants and Reactions, some hot takes to dish out. And then I got a little message in my motivation minutes about removing your limitations in your life. So make sure you stick around for the very end of the show for that little extra kick in the ass to get you going. Outside of that, let's get into it. I am so gassed up for today's show. Sometimes we get the Monday scaries. Sometimes those things happen. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we have a break-even day on a Monday. We have some rough beats like that. But then we hit the Tuesday, and it is on the up escalator, my friend, if you will.
I will.
Everybody knows the deal. Everybody knows where we're going. First segment of the day, first half of the first segment of the day. It is time for RMags best bets of the day. He's got 3 picks coming at you, and they are juicy. I'm not even going to hint at what he's bringing you because it is so damn good. Without further ado, no more from me for the time being. Partner, you have the floor.
I appreciate it as always.
Yes, sir.
So my partner mentioned I have 3 plays today. I've got 3 MLB plays today.
No partner.
First one, oh yeah, there you go. You're going to be a little bit less pumped on me once again because I am taking the Mets first 5 money line versus your Chicago Cubs. Today the Cubs are rolling out Alec Mills on the mound. He is a right-hander. However, that's probably going to be a little bit of a bullpen day. Now the Mets, on the other hand, have got Taijuan Walker, righty, and he is one of, if not the better, hotter pitchers in the league right now. I was about to say best pitchers on the Mets, but he's clearly not that because you have Jacob deGrom over there. But anyways, Taijuan Walker, 2.07 ERA, has allowed 1 earned run or less in 5 of his last 6 starts, and he is 8-2-2 to first 5 innings on the entire season. So he's clipping those along pretty well. You've made some money on first 5s if you back Taijuan Walker.
Yep.
Now, Alec Mills, on the other hand, over his last 5 appearances, I mentioned it's going to be a bullpen day. Hasn't gone too deep into these games. 1-2 inning, you can probably expect 3 max. Last 5 appearances, 8 innings pitched, 10 earned runs. And this Cubs offense, despite some wins lately, their batting average and OBP a little bit lower than you would expect, so they had some timely hitting this past weekend at home and into last week. But their last 10 versus right-handers partner, 190 batting average, 265 OBP, a lot lower than you would expect. And this Mets team versus right-handers, a little bit higher than you would expect, 262 batting average, 327 OBP. So I think that's going to translate into the Cubs having a little bit of a regression day, kind of like they had yesterday, maybe even lower scoring. And the Mets kind of had to have a day like they had yesterday, 5 or so runs here. Maybe not in the first 5. It's only going to take 2 or 3 runs, in my opinion, typically for these Taijuan Walker starts. But first 5 runs allowed. Mets, number 1 in the MLB at home with .96. That is a big tribute to Mr. Taijuan Walker and, of course, Jacob deGrom and a couple other guys. But number 1 at home, less than 1 run. 4th overall at 1.95. And the Cubs on the road, 21st in first 5 runs allowed on the road, 3.06. Give me this Mets team to take a 3-1, 4-1 win here in the first 5 innings, partner.
I don't know that it's going to be all that big, but the sad part is I can't disagree with you. Just from a betting standpoint, from a fan standpoint, I would love Alec Mills to come out and have a great game. But you know, if you've watched this show and you know especially how high I am on Taijuan Walker, can't bet my Cubbies today, but I can't bet against them. You know my position here, but I do think for the sake of you guys, that's a rather safe bet.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Continue, if you will, please.
Well, I appreciate it. I didn't mean to do that to you, but sometimes I got to do it. Second play is going to be coming staying in the NL Central here. Reds first 5 money line versus the Brewers. It took the Reds first 5 plus a half yesterday. Things went pretty well for him yesterday. You've got Luis Castillo on the mound, righty for the Reds versus Brett Anderson, lefty. Now, after an uncharacteristic start to 2021, Luis Castillo is figuring things out. His last 2 starts here in June, 3.09 ERA over 11 2/3 innings. He, I'm going to have to admit, it's plain and simple. He was pretty brutal through April and May. And like I said, he's starting to turn things around. I think he's going to start getting back into that pitcher that we all know and have seen from him the last few years, at least in that 3.5 ERA or less. And now I like him to stay hot against the Brewers. This Brewers offense, last 10 versus righty, hitting 220 batting average. So things are cooling off against them. I said it yesterday. Their record the last 10, 15 games is very, very solid, but it's against a lot of those teams at the bottom third of the National League. And Mr. Brett Anderson has been pretty consistently mediocre this season. He's got a 4.99 ERA overall in the season, just over a 4 ERA in April and May, and now into June he's got 7 earned runs over 2 June starts. And this Reds team is getting hot again offensively, and unlike earlier on in the season, they're starting to do it against left-handers. I mentioned it yesterday. They put up some serious runs in the first 5 innings and the full game. Last 5 versus lefties for the Reds, 319 batting average, 397 OBP, 11.15 runs per 9. They are cooking right now. Over the last 14 games, they are actually 11-2-1 to the first 5 innings, the Reds themselves. On the season, number 6 in the MLB in first 5 runs, 2.92, while the Reds at home are actually 27th in first 5 runs with 2.14. Give me this Reds team to stay hot versus some lefties here, especially a mediocre lefty in Brett Anderson. And I like Luis Castillo to stay a little bit more consistently to how he's been pitching the last couple of starts, partner. So I love the Reds' first 5 money line today.
Yeah, I think you're spot on right there, man. Castillo was definitely in fade territory. He was somebody that I was not willing to put my money on at all. And damn near, if I saw him in a matchup, I was just fading him in the first 5. But I think once again, nail hammer that Castillo's starting to figure shit out. And he's kind of figuring he's getting himself on the bump. And like you said, Anderson's been a consistent struggle bus. And I think it kind of stays the same for him here today with how red hot the Reds are, no pun intended. They whooped the mess out of this same Brewers team yesterday. And I think that trend continues. So there you go. Second bet. Appreciate it. And do believe one more still to come.
Yes, I do. And this one's going to be a little bit of a plus money action. You got the Baltimore Orioles on the road versus the Cleveland Indians. I'm taking the Indians -1.5 on the run line. You've got Matt Harvey on the mound here for the Orioles versus Cal Quantrill. And now this Orioles team, partner, you're not going to find a colder team on the road right now, or maybe even all season.
No.
The Orioles have lost 16 straight road games. They are 5-11 to the run line during this stretch. And as I mentioned, they are bringing out a guy in Matt Harvey that's got a 7.41 ERA. And that's after a fairly respectable a little bit over a 4 ERA in April, where people thought he might be, not old Matt Harvey, not like we know and used to, but at least someone that might find their way into a rotation and be a little bit respectable.
Sure.
But that's not the case lately. It's definitely not in May. Now over his last 6 starts, 19 2/3 innings pitched, 31 runs allowed, earned runs. I think there's a handful more unearned runs there. And this Cleveland team versus right-handers are starting to heat up pretty quietly here. Last 10 versus right-handers, 285 batting average, 342 OBP, 6.97 runs per 9 innings. They are starting to heat up, especially at home here. And Cal Quantrill, he might just go just a few, so we might have sort of a bullpen day. Cal Quantrill will probably go 2, 3, 4 innings, 4 if he's pitching really well. But he's got a 3.21 ERA, and this Cleveland bullpen's got a 3.23 ERA in the season. So I like this Indians team to keep the Orioles low on the scoreboard here. And this Orioles team on the road, 193 batting average, 259 OBP, 2.59 runs per 9 innings. So I absolutely love this Indians team to put up a boatload of runs on Matt Harvey early. And this Indians, whether it's Cal Quantrill for a few or that bullpen, I like the Indians to keep the Orioles off the scoreboard and for this Orioles team to stay freezing cold on the road, partner.
I agree with you once again. I like the first 5 here, the -0.5 on the run line, but honestly, the more value that you're getting on the full game at the -1.5, I think you're correct. I think they put up 4, 5, 6 runs on Harvey. I think that Cal Quantrill has a pretty solid outing. I mean, he's been getting better and better over his starts, and we've been seeing a little bit better command from him. So I think you're spot on with there, and we see maybe a little 7-4, 7-5 dub. Maybe it's a little high scoring, or maybe even 7-2. Maybe the Orioles don't get any on the board at all.
Maybe a little optimistically, but I'm thinking more of that on that side of it, 7-2, 8-2 type thing.
All right, my friend. Anything else you would like to dish out?
I think I'm all good on that.
All right. Well, I appreciate you, and I know these folks do. We'll be sure to recap all of our Mag's best bets of the day shortly. However, if you got them all right now and you want to get them hammered in, make sure you rip out your sports book and hammer those bad boys in at whatever the current best line you're finding them at on your favorite sports book. Moving right along. For the second half of the first segment of today's show, you know the deal. My best bets of the day. Here we go. Now, I told you at the top, hey, we got 8 picks coming at you. RMags just gave you 3, so that must mean I got 5. Boy, oh boy, I got some value coming at you today. Got 4 MLB picks coming at you and 1 NHL pick coming at you. So why not just get right into it? Why any hesitation? Why any delay? We might as well just get things underway. I'm a poet, and I didn't even know it. Here we go. First play of the day coming from me. Actually, the first game on today's slate, the Pirates versus the Nationals. Game played yesterday. Our Nats obviously got the win, but I'm not thinking so fast today, at least in the first 5 innings. So if you don't know, here we go. First pick of the day, I am taking the Pittsburgh Pirates first 5 run line plus a half. Now, this one is really a sharp play for me. I think a lot of people are going to be running to the Nats with them being hot in their last few games and already getting this win over this exact Pirates team yesterday. I mean, it's pretty much a given, right? It's kind of that public perception play that you would just run to the Nats, and that's why I think this is a bit of a setup and why I'm taking the half run on the first 5 innings. You know, I really don't want to touch the Pirates bullpen at all in this one either, so that's kind of the reason why I want to stay low. But the pitching matchup in this game does weigh pretty heavily for me. Tyler Anderson's going to be on the mound for the Pirates and Patrick Corbin on the mound for the Nats. Now, Corbin, I really can't even believe that the Nats are favored this highly with him on the mound.
Right.
I mean, maybe 150, maybe around there, but you can't give them that price based off their offensive production right now. Patrick Corbin has kind of found himself in 2 out of his last 5 games, but he hasn't been super dominant by any means at all. He's had 9 starts so far this season, 62 1/3 innings pitched with a 3-5 record, a abysmal 6.21 ERA with a 357 OBP, 848 OPS, and a 1.51 WHIP. So you're telling me that's somebody who needs to get a price of minus 177 at open? I don't think so, John. Let me tell you even more. Corbin has allowed 3 runs or more in 7 out of his 9 starts so far this season, and I absolutely love for that trend to continue in this one. And not to mention, the Pirates, after a little bit of a cold streak, are starting to hit lefties pretty well. Last 5 versus lefties, only a 231 batting average, but a 275 OBP and 3.78 runs per 9. So they're not destroying it, but they're starting to trend up. Some of those lower numbers are starting to fall off from their previous game. Their last 2 games, as a matter of fact, versus lefties were very, very good. Now, Anderson facing this Nats team really has been for this Pirates rotation through and through all year, somebody that they can depend on to go at least 5, at least keep the runs low, not give up more than 2, and keep them in every single inning. Maybe he even goes 6 or 7, which I could see him going potentially 6 here today. He's had 10 starts, and he's gone at least 5 innings in all 10 of those starts, and he's got a dominant pitch arsenal. I believe he has 5 or 6 different pitches that he can go to, and they're all really, really nasty. He's pitched 67 2/3 innings so far this year. He's got a bad 3-6 record, but like I said, the Pirates bullpen, the Pirates bullpen, not too well. I want to stay out of him. I don't want to touch him. So that's kind of why he doesn't have a good record. The Pirates bullpen is kind of letting him down there towards the end. But he does have an okay 4.52 ERA. It's starting to come down, but he's got 61 Ks with only 19 walks. Command is no issue. 296 OBP, 737 OPS, and a 1.21 WHIP. All of those previous 3 numbers are starting to drop, and I absolutely love him to start to get more and more dominant as we get closer to the halfway mark of the season. He's only allowed more than 2 runs in 3 out of his 10 starts so far this year, and the Nats have gone absolutely ice cold at the dish versus lefties as of late. In their last 5 versus lefties, they're holding a 120 batting average, a 214 OBP, and only scoring 1.08 runs per 9 innings. The Nats versus Anderson in his career, not to mention, only hitting 103 at the plate with a 272 OBP and a 446 OPS. Now, it's a small sample size, I know, but I think it weighs very, very heavy. This game feels like a complete setup to me. I think all the public is going to be running to the Nationals to back them once again, and I think Tyler Anderson has just what it takes to limit that offense, and I think the Pirates can put up 3-4 runs here on the arm of Patrick Corbin. So there you go. All of that leads me first play of the day, Pirates first 5 plus a half.
Okay. I was a little wishy-washy on it this morning, but I didn't realize those Nats numbers versus lefties lately, so that definitely helps me. But yeah, I don't mind Anderson in this spot either.
Yeah, Anderson's been one of the only good pitchers in that Pirates rotation, so kind of somebody that you can depend on, for lack of a better term. So there is the first play of the day. Second pick, play, best bet, whatever you want to call it, is coming from the matchup between the Boston Red Sox and the Atlanta Braves. I am once again taking the underdog and going with the Atlanta Braves first 5 plus a half, at least the underdog in the first 5 innings. This once again is yet another sharp play for me, and it comes down to a couple key reasons. I think the public is going to run all over the Red Sox just because they beat Toronto last night on a walk-off 2-1. Little do you know, the Braves played on Sunday coming off of a 6-4 win against Miami, but did not play last night. So they're coming into this game on an extra day rest, facing this Red Sox team that won a 9-round prize fight with those Blue Jays last night. So obviously, the Braves bats and the Braves pitching are going to be a lot more fresh here than the Red Sox. Not to mention, this pitching matchup looms so heavy for me. Eduardo Rodriguez on the mound for the Red Sox and Tucker Davidson on the mound for the Braves. Rodriguez has been nobody that I want to put my money on. He showed flashes of dominance here and there, but not enough for me to get behind. 2 out of his last 10 starts, he has allowed less than 3 earned runs. So he has been giving them up left, right, and center. In those 10 starts, he's gone 62 and 2/3 innings with a 5-4 record, an abysmal 6.03 ERA, 339 OBP, 830 OPS, and a 1.45 WHIP. These Braves destroy him. Against Rodriguez, the Braves hit 316 at the plate with a 340 OBP, and this is not incorrect. I am saying this. Listen up. 1.021 OPS against Rodriguez. They mash the ball against this man, and Boston is 0-4-1 straight up in the first 5 innings in Eduardo's last 5 starts. I like the extra half-run backing. I think the Braves might get the win. I'll tell you why, but I like this extra half-run backing, especially with Davidson on the mound. Now, he is new. He is a young guy. He's only had 3 starts, but he's really impressed me in those 3 starts. He's gone 17 2/3 innings pitched, gone at least 5 innings in all 3. As a matter of fact, went 6 innings, 5 2/3 innings, and 6 innings in those 3 starts. 0-0 record with a 1.53 ERA, 246 OBP, 492 OPS, and a sub-1 whip of 0.96. Of course, regression to the mean is going to come. I'm not going to deny that. However, I don't think it's going to come against these tired Red Sox bats here today, and I think he stays dominant, and I think he gets a really, really quality start and a really quality victory on his resume against this Red Sox team, and I think Eduardo Rodriguez continues to struggle, especially against this Atlanta Braves offense and the bats that we know can be oh so dangerous. So all of that leads me to my second pick of the day, Atlanta Braves, first 5 run line plus a half.
I'm all over on that one with you, my man. That was one of the ones I had written down. I do like Davidson. I definitely like this Braves offense to touch up Rodriguez for a few in that first 5, though.
Yeah, I absolutely do. And at the very least, if it's not tied, I like the Braves to be up.
Yeah.
So, but once again, I like the half-run backing.
Yeah, so, no question.
So there you go. Moving right along, we're just going to go in chronological order. No, I already gave you 3 MLB best bets of the day, but 2 MLB best bets. Now I'm into the 3rd pick. That's why I said 3. This one is going to be my NHL pick of the day and might be a little contrarian to what you might be seeing or what you might think. But I'm hammering my boys. I am taking the Islanders money line tonight, right around plus 160. Absolutely beautiful odds to scoop them up at, and I suggest you do as well. I really, really think that the books are undervaluing the Isles here simply because of the brand name of the Lightning and how they are the defending champs. I don't think that has anything to do with this season and this postseason. The Isles have been so dominant. They've shown their ability to adjust on the defensive side of the puck. They have relied on Varlamov sitting on his head and have played off of that power, and I believe they continue to do the same thing here tonight. Mm-hmm. The Lightning didn't look like they had any opportunity ever in that game. The Isles, in game 1, the Isles looked like they had every bit of their number. But there's a few other key things that I'm looking at here outside of that defense and Varlamov really standing on his head. Well, with Varlamov standing on his head, they have just given him all the goal support he needs. When he keeps the goals down, the Isles have tended to throw pucks in net. So I absolutely love the Isles to at least put 2 or 3 back in net, if not more here tonight against Vasilevsky, who had a really good closing game in the series against Carolina with a 100 save percent. Now, why do I say that? Because it dropped in this very next game against the Islanders at 93.5 save percent. Why do I mention all of that? Because this seems to be a very recurring trend for Vasilevsky. He'll have a 100% save game, and he will slowly regress down to about 84% for 5 games in a row, and then bounce back to 100% save. So I like him to continue to regress. He's only had 1 game of regression, so I think we see a lot steeper regression here today. And the Isles are hot, man. They're hot. They've won 8 out of their last 10, and they haven't given up more than 2 goals out of their 8 of their last 10. So they have just been absolutely destroying it. I do apologize. 7 out of their last 10 they've won, but only have given up, 8 out of their last 10. Only given up 2 goals in 4 of them. Let me quit blabbing. You know how I feel about this. I'm trying to pull shit out of my ass I don't need to because I absolutely love the Isles right now. Give me all of them to take a dominant 2-0 lead and go back to New York where they potentially get the 4-0 clean sweep of the defending champs.
I can't deny all the things you said there, man. I know you're very, very high on them. I'm not, definitely not fading you. Definitely not fading you. I'm not sure if I'll be on this. I'm not the hockey guy over here. I can say it's definitely bizarre that they keep making it plus 160, plus 150. It should definitely be closer than that. I don't know that, the Islanders are going to get the win for sure, but without question, that line should be a lot closer. So I definitely like the value there.
Absolutely, and you're going to give me that value once again with really the Lightning showing no signs of ever being in that game.
Right.
And I think the Isles are ready to go to the Cup. So sticking with my prediction, Habs Isles in the final. But let's keep it moving. Let's keep it grooving. Fourth best bet of the day. Going back to the MLB, and I am taking the Miami Marlins first 5 money line. Few key reasons, and once again, this is yet another play that I believe the line is incorrect. I think that the Marlins should be favored, and really I think this comes down to the pitching matchup. You got Trevor Rogers on the mound for the Marlins and Kwang Yoon Kim on the mound for the Cardinals. Now, Kim, he started off the season really, really, really hot, and then he started to cool off here as we get into May, into June. ERA by month right now, he has just slowly increased. In April, he had a 3.29, May a 3.89, and now he's kicking off June with a 9.00 ERA. The last 4 starts are the most critical for me. He faced Cincinnati, Arizona, the White Sox, and the Padres. 17 innings pitched in those 4 starts, 18 hits, 12 Ks, only 7 walks with only 12 Ks, 11 earned runs in those 4 outings. He has really, really been struggling lately. And not to mention, the last 30 days for Kim, he holds a 5.82 ERA. And after a bit of a drop-off, the Miami Marlins are finally starting to hit the ball again and are finally starting to hit lefties again. Last 5 versus lefties, 262 batting average, 328 OBP, and a 3.86 runs per 9 average. Now, Rogers, opposite side, opposing team, my guy. He has been the money man for the Miami Marlins so far this season in their rotation, and someone that really myself and my partner have backed all season long, and someone that you should start backing as well. 9 starts for him so far, 75 2/3 innings pitched, 7-3 record, beautiful 2.02 ERA. A whopping 89 Ks with only 25 walks, 278 OBP, 585 OPS, and close to a sub-1, 1.06 whip. Miami is 2-2-1 straight up in the first 5 innings in Rogers' last 5 starts, but the wins have come more recently, and in his last 10 starts, they are 5-3-2. I am not going for the push. Actually, this did open up as the Marlins plus a half, but it quickly flipped to minus a half, which is quite bizarre, which is why I turned my attention to the Miami Marlins first 5 money line. I think that these 2 lefties are going to have a battle, but eventually the Marlins start getting to Kim way before they get to Rogers, and I definitely think that's within the first 5 innings. So give me all of the Marlins first 5 money line for my fourth best bet of the day.
Death, taxes, and Trevor Rogers first fives, my man. I love this guy. He is one of, if not my number one favorite pitcher to bet on this year. And you touched on it, 2-2-1 last five. A couple of those losses, the Marlins offense was cold for a while. Now they're starting to heat up, and there's a handful of pitchers that I love to back if that offense is right. Yeah. And I think it's right now.
Yeah, it definitely is right. And like I said, I touched on it.
You nailed it.
Rogers has been probably one of our favorite pitchers to back. Anytime he's going, I don't care who the lineup is.
Right.
I'm all over him. So there you go, fourth. Now fifth and final best bet coming from me today. Here we go. Oakland Athletics first five money line. And once again, this one is coming down to the pitching match pitch up. How about that? I just came up with a new word. This game is coming down to the pitching matchup for me and the much hotter team in the Oakland A's bats right now. Last night in the first 5 innings in this meeting between these two teams, the A's and the Angels, the A's actually won the first 5 innings 8-1, and I think it gets a little bit easier for them today, or tonight rather, with this pitching matchup. You got Andrew Heaney going for the Angels and Frankie Montas going for the A's. Heaney coming off of 2 of his best starts so far of the season. He's had a couple better starts peppered in, but the last 2 were really, really good. But it's been pretty classic so far for Heaney to have 2 really good starts so far this season, or string a few together. You think it's time you can start backing him, especially with how good the Angels offense has been. And then he lets you right on down. And I think today is one of those letdown spots. 10 starts for Heaney, 57 2/3 innings pitched, 4-3 record, 4.37 ERA with a 300 OBP, a 688 OPS, and a 1.23 whip. Now, I think those numbers are a little bit better than they actually are. He's had a few good games against some subpar teams that have really made those numbers a little bit better than I truly think his arm is. Now, Montas on the other side of the bump, he had a good start to the season, a really, really bumpy middle if you backed him at all over April into May, and now he's finally starting to find himself again. I think he's back into safe territory as somebody that you can put your money on, at least in the first 5 innings. In his 10 starts this season, he's gone 70 innings, 6-6 record with a 4.37 ERA, 73 Ks with only 18 walks for Montas so far with a 1.34 whip. I believe some of his numbers opposite of Heaney are actually inflated. I think that Montas is a lot better pitcher than some of his numbers are stating, just because of that rocky middle of this the season so far that he had. Whatever you want to consider the middle, that little bit of May so far is kind of what I'm considering the middle. Had a super rough May. So I think he returns back to dominant form. I think he has a really good game here at home in front of the home crowd against these Angels. And I think the A's jump all over Heaney early and at least put up 3-4 runs here on the big man within the first 5 innings. So fifth and final best bet of the day, Oakland A's first 5 money line.
I like it, man. I like Montas today. You nailed it. He's been picking things back up, and Heaney is not someone I like to bet on either. So
no, thanks. I'm
happy to ride this one with you.
All right, so there you go. The TTL Crew's best bets of the day. You got RMags' best bets, his 3, and my best bets, my 5. We will be sure to recap all of those best bets of the day here for you shortly. But let's get into the second segment of the day. Before we do, this one is the special play of the day. And today's special play of the day, if you weren't around for the top of the show, is the Twofer Tuesday Parlay. Here we go. We got 2 legs coming at you, as always. Obviously, probably didn't even need to say that because you can just read the name and probably know that it's 2 legs on a parlay. So, got 2 MLB legs coming at you today. As always, I'm going to go ahead and let my partner just homer on out right quick because one of the legs in this parlay today just so happens to be his Sox. But I'm going to let him let you guys know what the exact pick is. So, partner, without further ado, why don't you go right on ahead, pal?
I will go ahead and do that. First play out of the Twofer Tuesday Parlay is going to be the White Sox first 5 money line today. We've got Shane McClanahan on the mound for the Rays, Dallas Keuchel on the mound for my White Sox, both of them left-handers. Shane McClanahan 4.54 ERA, while Dallas Keuchel coming in with a 4.14 ERA. He's been picking things up lately. Now, this White Sox team, you might be a little concerned because they have some injuries and their lineup is a little bit depleted. And, of course, they're not tearing the cover off the ball against lefties quite like they are used to. However, they are still finding ways. 297 batting average over their last 5 versus lefties, 366 OBP despite these injuries. So even with some, backups, some depth into their hitting lineup, they're still finding ways to get it done versus left-handers. While the Rays over here, last 5 games versus lefties, 227 batting average, 348 OBP. So they find ways to get on base. However, that batting average is low. Dallas Keuchel should keep them off the bases and keep his control up. So I really like this White Sox first 5 money line. Lost the game last night 5-2 to Tyler Glasnow, even though he did leave after the 5th inning, I believe. So they're going to be ready to jump all over Shane McClanahan as a lefty today. And I see no reason why the White Sox first 5 versus lefty wagon doesn't stay on the tracks today.
I would have to agree with you, man. McClanahan's still a young guy. I know he's been good from time to time, but
Sure.
I think he's still young, and especially with this White Sox team hitting lefties so good, there's nothing more I can say there. I think they're going to have a field day on him, and like you said, Keuchel should have his command in check and have some of his good stuff coming down. So there you go. First leg of the Twofer Tuesday Parlay, the Chicago White Sox first 5 money line. And for the second leg, I got this one. We are headed on over to the matchup between the Detroit Tigers and the Kansas City Royals. And for the second leg, we are taking the Detroit Tigers first 5 run line plus a half. Now, this one, obviously, you could say, okay, you guys are looking right at how it went yesterday. You're just upset that the Kansas City Royals lost you your bet. I don't think so. This is just kind of a bad matchup, it seems to be, for the Royals. And today's pitching matchup is even more juicy for these Tigers. You got Casey Mize on the mound for the Tigers, who has just been absolutely dominant all season long and has really started to find himself even more, has limited the command issues, and has really been one of the top guys in this Tigers pitching, or starting pitching rotation, rather. So I am so willing to put my money all over him. I think at the very least, with Mike Minor on the mound for the Royals, at the very, very least, the Tigers keep this one tied, if not have a very convincing outright win in the first 5. So we both looked at each other and loved this play, especially with Casey Mize on the mound.
Almost fought over it for our actual straight plays.
Yeah, pretty doggone close. So we liked it that much, we just decided to throw it on the Twofer Tuesday. So there you go. The Twofer Tuesday Parlay, the 2 legs. While we're just on everything, since we're through the best bets of the day, and now the Twofer Tuesday Parlay was so quick, we might as well just get right into the best bets of the day. So without further ado, here we go. Today's best bets of the day. Riley White, thank you so much for being prepared and not slapping me in the face this time around. If you could turn your attention to the left side of your screen for RMags picks today, he's taken 3. He's got the New York Mets first 5 money line, the Cincinnati Reds first 5 run line plus a half, and the Cleveland Indians full game run line minus 1.5. For myself, on the right side of your screen, I am taking the Pittsburgh Pirates first 5 run line plus a half, Atlanta Braves first 5 run line plus a half, Miami Marlins first 5 money line, the Oakland A's first 5 money line, and my New York Islanders money line. And then right below that, shift your attention on down just briefly for the Twofer Tuesday Parlay, the 2 legs coming at you, Chicago White Sox first 5 money line, and Detroit Tigers first 5 run line plus a half. Last time I checked, those special play odds today are right about 215. So getting pretty juicy odds for a nice little 2-legger there. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Officially, our 9 best bets of the day. You could call it 10, but one's a parlay, so we'll make it 9. Without further ado, you know the deal by now, but I'm going to do it anyway. Lock them in, hammer them home, sprinkle a little bit of dough down, whatever you like to say. Just make sure you get today's TTL Crew's best bets of the day in at whatever the current best line is on your favorite sportsbook. All right, my friends, there you go. There you have it. Let's wrap up today's first half of the show, the betting half of the show, the analysis half of the show, with one of my personal favorites. I know a lot of your guys' personal favorites. the all-knowing, all-powerful, ever-present Moneyline Dice. They are making their way to set. They are live on set, ladies and gentlemen.
They're feeling cocky today, huh?
Ooh, they're feeling cocky. So before we click on over and I work my magic as the producer faux pas, if you will, trying to figure things out with this. I think I got it down today, ladies and gentlemen, but we'll see. The bottom left corner of your screen, the Moneyline Dice roll today, set it at the top of the show, is an MLB matchup between the New York Yankees and the Toronto Blue Jays. So let's get into today's Moneyline Dice roll of the day. First things first, actually, I'm going to wait to do that, and I'm going to get everything set up.
Let's do it.
As I get everything set up, partner, if you could be so kind to indulge these folks.
Set the stage here.
What do we got for some lines? What do we got? Who's home, away? What's the deal? What's some of the backstory behind this matchup today?
I am happy to drop that on them. And we were a little torn on this one, little 50-50, some tight lines here, but the Yankees are the away team coming into, it'll actually be Buffalo. Toronto is playing in Buffalo these days. You've got Jordan Montgomery, lefty for the Yanks, and Hyunjin Ryu, lefty for the Blue Jays. Jordan Montgomery coming in with a 3.1 record, 4 ERA. Ryu 5-4, 3.34 ERA. A little bit shaky lately, but pretty solid on the season. Yankees are actually the underdogs, plus 105, and the Blue Jays are coming in at minus 120. Yankees plus 1.5 odds at minus 188, and the Blue Jays minus 1.5 at plus 163. We've got the over/under set at 9 runs in this one. That's going to be an interesting line. See if one of these guys gets blown up today. But the bets and money percentages coming in on the Blue Jays this afternoon, or this morning so far for this evening's game, 6:07 p.m. Central Standard Time. But the Blue Jays, 66% of the bets with 59% of the money. Line opened up at minus 135 for the Blue Jays, and like I said, is now down to minus 120. So interesting movement there. The price is getting tastier, but despite the majority of the money and bets coming in on the Blue Jays. So it might be a little bit of a trap on the Blue Jays. Not quite sure there. The total was opening up at 8.5, boosted up to 9, as I mentioned. Percentage on that one, 63% of the bets on the under, 87% of the money on the under. So big money coming in on the under, despite what looks like a sharp indicator on the over for this matchup. How we looking, partner?
Well, guess what, partner? Your boy should have gone to school for IT, because I done got the sumbitch figured out this time. We ain't wasted no time this time around. So, partner, I will go ahead and hand that over to you, my friend. And without further ado, once again, here we are. Here we are live, ladies and gentlemen. You got to be able to see me just a little bit more, so we might as well just trim that down for you guys there. And might as well catch a little shot of me pulling them out here, huh? Oh, yeah, look at them babies coming fresh out. Moneyline ATS. And let's see if the wild card.
Let's get a good shot of that carrying case there.
Oh, yeah, we'll do that. Check that bad boy out. I always talk about, look at that logo. Look how crispy that logo is. Oh, my gosh, that looks so beautiful on screen.
Go ahead.
Oh, boy. And then peep out the dice. One thing I want to say, okay, right? Like, hold on before you go to the side. Oh. Check them out on top.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Just black dice. And then if you go translucent, go on the side again, you'll be able to see. They're actually
I see it at the bottom there. We don't want to show the entire studio here.
Tilt your, yeah. There you go. All right. And maybe flick up on those. Still trying to figure this out. All right.
Got a few kinks here with it,
but
better than nothing.
Go. Better than nothing. Looks like the video has stopped. Just real quick, let me see that. No bueno. Okay, should be good to go now. All right, there we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, only the second day we're doing this, so coming in hot. Let me get a nice little roll here, get them woke up, get them feeling well. All right, there we are. Now, first roll. As always, are we taking the home team, Toronto Blue Jays, or are we taking the away team, New York Yankees? We will all soon find out, and you will see it live. Live in 3, in 2, in 1.
The home team, Toronto Blue Jays.
So I'll slide that right there for you, partner.
Beauty.
And as always, second dice on set. Are we going Toronto Blue Jays money line or Toronto Blue Jays ATS? Are we taking their run line or are we taking them on the money line? Remind me one time, partner, I was so locked into mirroring. Are they the dog or
The Blue Jays are the favorite, minus 120.
All right, baby, here we go. ATS or money line in 3, in 2, in 1.
That is the money line. Money line. Blue Jays money line.
Scoop that over here for you too again, partner. There you are. All right, and last but not least, folks, you know the deal. The wild card die. Are we doubling down for the 4th day in a row? Are the dice going to make us re-roll everything? Or are they going to skip it all and just go to the total? We will all soon find out in 3, in 2, in 1. Shoot.
Doubling the fuck down.
Oh, money
Goodness
line.
gracious,
Oh
dice.
my gosh.
Don't do it to us.
Somebody put him out. Somebody put him out. That, ladies and gentlemen, this is officially the fourth. 4 days in a row that the money line dice have doubled down on their pick of the day. The dice have spoken! We will hear none of the gossip, none of the rumors that these dice don't know what they're talking about. You see it on your screen. I keep going the wrong way, but you know by now it's probably giving you a little chuckle. But if you want to guaranteed take a ticket to the window tonight, the dice have doubled down and they're telling you. Toronto Blue Jays, full game, money line. You see it. Lock it in. There you have it.
Check out the balls on our dice.
Woo, boy, I'm telling you what now, I am so glad, first things first, that I was able to get that, and that's now gone, all figured out. Very, very excited about that. Seemed that everything seemed to be in good order today. No outstanding issues.
Sweet.
I mean, just beautiful. So we might as well wrap this segment up the usual way, as always. Thank you so much, Dice.
Thank you, Dice.
We appreciate your picks. We love your bets.
Love the confidence.
We cannot tell you how much we notice your over-the-top alpha confidence with 4 back-to-back-to-back double downs. We'll see you on to tomorrow's show.
Thank you, Dice.
Have a spectacular rest of your Tuesday, Dice. See you on Wednesday. See you later. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. And as always, let's pop right back into the best bets of the day in case you missed anything. And now that we officially have the Moneyline Dice rolls. So, left side of your screen, RMags' best bets of the day, his 3. Right side of your screen, my best bets of the day, my 5. Twofer Tuesday Parlay, bottom left hand of your screen. Absolutely beautiful and juicy. And bottom left hand, if I just said, did I say right hand or left hand?
No idea.
Bottom right hand on the other one, bottom left hand, I do apologize. Moneyline Dice have selected the Toronto Blue Jays money line. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The first half of today's show, episode number 59 on this beautiful June 15th, 2021. Before we get into the second half of today's show, if you're one of the kind folks, degenerates, gamblers that stops by the daily Talking the Line podcast episodes and just come for the best bets of the day, the analysis, the trends, everything in between for this portion of the show, and you're about to head on out of here, thank you so much. We appreciate you. Peace and love. We hope you have a spectacular rest of your Tuesday, unless you got any other plans on the map, but we hope that you don't. However, if you ain't sticking around, don't stay away too long. Y'all come back now soon here, because we got more sports books to bankrupt, and we need your help doing it one play at a time. So have a spectacular day. We'll see y'all later. But for the TTL faithful, hanging around for the second half of the show. First and foremost, thank you so much for hanging around for about the first 50 minutes of the show going on here. It is time for everybody's favorite part, the second half, where we can drop it into first gear, kick it on back a little bit, and talk some shit. So without further ado, it's time for today's Rants and Reactions. Let's get into it.
Let's do it.
First things first, how you doing over there, partner?
I'm great.
How you feeling? How you living?
I'm
How
great.
you moving? How you grooving?
All of the above, positively.
Yeah.
Very positively.
All right. I love to
We're
hear it.
rocking and rolling.
I
feel
love to hear it.
fucking great.
Wanted to say something. Kind of popped into my head as we were just kind of getting into this. You, so kindly good sir, have loved to give me shit from time to time about me being outdated on my gaming console. I have owned a PlayStation 3 since 2010.
Whenever PlayStation 3s were around.
2010 maybe. Love the gameplay. I'm a fan. I'm great. But everybody giving me shit. Okay, everybody kept giving me a lot of BS. And you know what? I was just tired of hearing it. So I started visualizing and speaking into an existence. If you didn't listen to yesterday's Motivation Minutes, yet another opportunity to prove to you that this shit works. I started doing that. And it just so happens that an Xbox One has entered my life, and I am now on the new console. So if you're a fan of the show, want to game with me, want to get the stick work, or you're just one of our good pals who didn't know that yet and stopped by today's show, heard that, I'm on Xbox Live. Cap'n Colt 45, CAPN Colt 45.
It's about damn time.
It's about damn time I
It's
came
about
around.
damn time. Just in time for the new generation of it.
Just about in time for the next generation to come out. Hot dog, great.
Maybe in 10 years we'll get those ones.
Yeah, we'll see. Wait, we'll see what happens. At least I'm up to date.
No,
now.
it's good. It's good fun.
Yeah, it's great, man. I mean, I knew what I was missing, but I didn't know what I was missing.
You didn't know until you
man.
really dive into it.
Oh, I mean, playing MLB, the show is absolutely terrific. Playing Madden 21 is terrific with 22 about to come out. Got Game Pass for 3 months for $1.
Yep.
I mean, I'm out here big boy balling all of a sudden. Like, it's crazy.
Can't beat that $1
crazy.
for Game Pass. The Game Pass is pretty legit right now.
Yeah, I've had to keep myself pretty disciplined, though, because
It's dangerous.
it can get dangerous.
It gets dangerous. You know, neglecting all the shit you do or staying up until 1 a.m. grinding on those games. It's dangerous.
Yeah, and you know, a lot of people don't get it, but us gamers, we understand. We understand.
It's hard to stay away.
It is hard to stay away for sure, but yeah, just wanted to toss that out there. Little side note. Get today's rants and reactions started. But let's get into the good stuff, the juicy stuff, all the sports and sports gambling news going on today and from yesterday and into the week. NFL, nothing major. Let me do just a quick little scroll scan here since I was giving you all my picks and analysis. Didn't have time to see if any news has dropped, and it's kind of tended to be the case. When we get on this son-of-bitch, news likes to drop.
Lately, not been the case so much.
Not a huge bit of bit of news. Jamal Adams set to set out minicamp. He's not going to participate. I know somebody else who's not doing that, or who is doing that. As he sips his coffee, we'll just stay off of that. I guess so. Cornerback Stephon Gilmore is also skipping Patriots minicamp, so he might be out of there. Who knows what's going on there? I don't know why Jamal Adams would skip minicamp. That doesn't really make sense, especially when the Seahawks got him out of New York. I mean, that doesn't make any type of sense whatsoever to me. Maybe it's just because, okay, they had the 1 year with the COVID, no OTAs, and then, wow, actually, that was really, really nice on my body.
Maybe. Either that or an extension. I mean, shit.
Or maybe now that's a 17-week season, they're starting to...
Some of these small narratives after
know.
being away from the NFL for 3-4 months, you start to not really understand what's going. Maybe not. I guess I shouldn't say it, not understand, but we get a little out of touch from the NFL, these small narratives, at least when we're dived into the MLB, NBA, and NHL as deep as we get.
Yeah.
So.
In other news, though, Jay Crowder must have some confidence in his quarterback, Mr. Zach Wilson, and not to mention his quarterback, but also the wide receiver core, because it has now been released that he took a pay cut this year to stick with the New York Jets. Elijah Moore, and I'm not really thinking of the rest of that wide receiver core right now, but obviously he's thinking that the Jets got something going on over there.
Yeah, he must. Jamison Crowder, I believe you said Jay Crowder, the forward on the Suns.
Did I say
Yes.
Jamison Crowder? I do apologize. Jay Crowder.
Maybe he goes by Jay. Who knows? I don't know. But
Jamison
maybe.
Crowder. What the hell?
Yeah, I mean, solid piece for them to keep around. Obviously, he's not top 10.
Coffee.
Yeah, not a top 10 receiver in the league, but he's a serviceable, respectable receiver to have. So
yeah, I mean, he was really good with the Washington football team for quite a while when they were not the Washington football team, and then went to the Jets, kind of lackluster, nothing crazy last year. But for crying out loud, they almost went 0-16. So.
yeah, but like you said, seems like he likes what they got building, and I'm a big fan of Robert Saleh, so
Yeah.
not saying they're going to be a playoff team, but I think they're going to get a few games here this season.
I would have to agree with you. One quick other final thing on the NFL before we move right along in rapid fashion. As far as some conference and division winners, or win totals rather, win totals are really starting to come out now. Couple that were kind of interesting to me. Carolina Panthers over under 7.5. Chicago Bears over under 7.5. The Cleveland Brownies getting some favor over under 10.5. Finally getting the respect that they deserve, question mark. And
The Browns, you would have to, especially with the extra game.
Sure.
In a normal season, you would have to think that's at least a 10-16, correct? Correct.
Sure.
So if you're adding a game, I think that's an overplay.
Sure. Absolutely.
I think so.
And then one that I thought really intriguing with how lackluster this team has been over the past couple of years. Do these books know something that we don't? The Broncos over under 8.5.
I think that's adjusted in case
they end up getting Deshaun.
Or someone, yeah.
Potentially.
Because I mean, yeah, if you want, because I'm considering hammering the under on that because I don't think they're gonna get anybody. I think the liability would be a lot higher for books if they kept it at like 6.5, 7, and then they brought in Watson, Rodgers, XYZ,
For
whoever
sure.
it is, because then that's free money if that ends up happening.
That's kind of what I was thinking. Yeah, and then the books have a lot of faith in Matt Stafford. Excuse me. Goodness gracious. Matt Stafford and the Rams.
What's that one?
Over under 10.5.
Okay.
So they're getting 10.5 as well. And then outside of that, any other high totals? Actually, the Tampa Bay Q Gronkaneers are getting over under 11.5.
Okay.
So they're obviously favored pretty highly. 49ers and Seahawks right at 10. And then the Titans right at 9. So, I mean, those are some of the ones that were really sticking out to me.
Titans at 9, huh?
Yeah, and then the Bills are at 11. Over under 11. So the Bills expected to have a good season. Ravens over under 11, but they are getting plus 100 right at a pick'em right now for the over 11.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's interesting, man. We'll see what happens this NFL season. I'm getting more juiced
I'm
up
so
as
excited
the
for it.
days go on.
Guys, the one thing I love to do is do exactly what we're doing right now, have those thoughts initially, but then before you hammer those in, you really got to dive into their schedule, because you think about a team like maybe not the Browns, but let's say the Titans, for example, 9 wins. You're thinking, oh, they just brought in Julio Jones, easy 9 wins over.
Right.
And I don't know what their schedule is, but maybe you look at their schedule and it's like, oh my goodness, like this is going to be a tough slate for them.
Right.
Maybe I don't hammer this 9 wins, although I do think they're going 9 wins without looking at their schedule, because that does seem a little bit low. But that's just one tip that I tend to use as far as those. Give the surface opinions and then really dive into their schedule and kind of see for myself where I think those wins are going to come from.
Definitely. I like to kind of look that way as far as future plays go as well, because I mean, you can have all the storylines obviously play into it, but then you got to look kind of at some of the schedules, maybe how do they play against a certain specific team. I mean, there could be how many times they play that team over the year. I mean, there's a lot of factors that go into those, and it's surprising how damn perfect the books have them.
Right.
It's surprising.
And to kind of put that in perspective, for my Jets 0-16 bet last year, I would take it again. They obviously won 2 games against 2 teams they should not have beat.
No.
But it was about week 8-9. I got it around plus 700 for them to go 0-16, and people were looking at me like, oh, you think it's going to happen? And then I would say, okay, well, let's look at their schedule. And then they're like, oh yeah, okay, I absolutely see that. Like, playoff team, playoff team,
Yeah.
playoff team, solid team, playoff team. And then, next thing you know, they're staring at 0-14.
Got lucky. Got real lucky and busted your bet.
Yeah, they got lucky. Yeah, exactly.
But there
Anyways.
you go. Nothing else real
We could
major.
do an entire
big.
hour or two on NFL for
Yeah,
God's
dude.
sakes.
We just went down a whole fucking rabbit hole there and didn't even mean to. If you still question our loyalty to the NFL,
It's a big old blank spot on the NFL for the agenda.
yeah, and like literally, it is blank on the agenda, and we just took up a good 5-10 minutes there talking about it. So, yeah, we are more than gassed for the NFL season to come back around, and you better believe that it is our top notch. Even though we're right about 50% right now with MLB, like when CBB, NCAAF, and NFL come back, just wait.
Yeah.
Just hang tight. Right now it's ebbs and flows because MLB, what we are learning with our second full MLB season capping is MLB is a fickle son of a bitch. I mean, it's just the ebbs and flows. There's 162 games, man. I mean, the stars were aligned yesterday for the Blue Jays and the Red Sox, and then you have a 2-1 game. I mean, it's the game. It's the game we play, and it's gonna be what it is. Unfortunately, we can cap it as much as we like. Even some of the top tier cappers right now, like outside of Joe D'Amico, for some reason right now he is murdering the MLB books. Outside of D'Amico, who we might have some announcements coming up with him in some point in time. Teaser. We might be up to something, but moving along. A lot of other cappers too are really struggling right now. Like everybody's about 50%. Like us, we'll have a 11-4 day 2 days ago, and then yesterday down 2-3 units. I mean, we're not losing our asses off by any means. I mean, stick to your units, and you're gonna be just fine. You might it might just be more of a bankroll patter instead of just tossing money at you like we consistently have been. Might be some padding days, you lose just a little bit, but stick to your units, man, and you're gonna be fine because we've been rocking and rolling through this whole thing too. We have a few break-even days here and there, and then we pad the account again with some of those winning days. So that's all I can say on that.
But nonetheless, I do prefer the old NFL and basketball overlap there.
Shit, yeah.
I was looking at my action app. They show you your history best week. I had a 26 plus unit week, and I looked back, and it was NFL,
Same.
college basketball, college football, tiny bit. I think it was the championship game, and then NBA, which I've had a solid season on. And 26 plus units for 1 week.
Beginning of March, I had a 28 plus unit during college basketball season.
College basketball and NFL,
And it's a good time to remind you guys as well. Follow us on the Action app because you will be able to see the proof is in the pudding. I mean, we have the numbers there to all back it up. I'm at cash_with_Colt. You got RMags at RMags, all caps, and then you can follow the whole crew at Talking the Line on the Action app. And it's funny you mentioned that, man. Like, I was looking back because I'm just like, what is going on? And I really think that it's just how fickle MLB can be from day to day. I mean, college basketball 423, 412, and 4 for me, but up 56.72 units. NBA 260, 242, and 4, up 21.25 units, my friend. So that is absolutely gorgeous. And then I'm up about 7.5 units, 52, 58, 7.46 units in the NFL. So
yeah, I was gonna say we got the Action app basically at
just as
I was
it
gonna
was
say that I would say we're both higher than that because the accuracy on that wasn't there for the full season by any means. It might have even been like the playoffs alone, honestly.
Yeah, I was looking at that too. Like, that didn't make a whole lot of sense to me because and even then I was tracking. Like, we weren't professionally capping.
Right.
Like, I was tracking stupid ass parlays and just shit I shouldn't have been tracking.
Yeah.
Like, I am a completely different different analyst from shit even a month ago, but definitely from a year ago.
Right, because we got the Action app right around January because I think I'm positive units on college football like 1-0 because it's my national championship winner or something like that.
Yep.
So
there you go. Yeah, so
anyways,
there you go. There's all our bets, everything there. Let's actually talk about some sports, huh? How about some MLB action? If you haven't been following along any of the sticky stuff, nonsense, the rumors, are pitchers getting banned? Is the MLB going to start cracking down? Are umpires going to start checking guys at the mound? What the hell is happening? If you want to know, two of the guys who are the most up-to-date outside of Buster Olney, who has just been on it and on and on it, are Pablo Torre and Jeff Passan. Yeah. Jeff Passan maybe a little bit more because Jeff Passan just is in the shit every day. He wrote about 6 or 7 articles last night, pumped them out about 10 o'clock at night. And I mean, they had just deep reads, but I'm telling you, the shit that is coming for baseball, it is going to be quite interesting. As far as like any new updates, MLB has now officially announced that they're going to implement a 10-day suspension minimum for any pitcher found to be using foreign substances. Do I think that's a little lax? Fuck yeah. Like,
I think so.
That's kind of hoarse, dude. 10-day suspension. I mean, now are we talking 10 starting days, or are we just talking?
I think it's about
10 game days. 10 game days. I mean, that's like, so what? So he misses one start, 2 starts. Like, so what?
I'm just curious as to. I don't know. I don't know what I think. I'm curious as to how they're going to enforce this. Are they going to check the player's hat as the game starts, as the innings start?
Well, I heard last night on the Cubs-Mets broadcast that they are going to like, you know, the whole pace of play and shit is the big MLB thing. Yeah. So to limit that as much as possible, they're going to check the pitcher as he is leaving the game. So whenever he leaves the game, right before he goes into the dugout, and as the bullpen pitcher's coming out, they're going to stop him and check him there.
Okay.
Now, another thing that I'm seeing, though, and I don't know if this is just funny, like if this guy's being funny on Twitter, but it's a couple verified, well, not verified guys, but some like high-quality guys within our community that we follow, and we interact with them a lot. And, like, there have been a lot of pictures going around with ball players with their hands, I mean, completely down their pants, man. And, like, I mean, I get you're tucking in your jersey, whatever, but I'm talking about, like, we're almost lower than nuts, boys. Like, what are we digging for down there? And, like, do we have some fucking pelican grip on the inside of our thigh? Like,
I don't know.
What?
That's kind of what I was about to say, is that I think if they're really cracking down, I think these pitchers that really need it are going to, or think they need it, their performance relies on it. I think they're going to get real creative.
They're going to get it done.
Real creative as where they're putting this shit and where they're touching. Because I've been watching a lot closer. I don't know how many guys I've seen every single pitch, and I mean I pitched when I was a kid, but I mean I guess I did a little bit, but I've seen so many dudes every single pitch do a little of this action
or a little on the glove or whatever the case might be. And you would not believe how sticky this Pelican grip or the Spider Tack adhesive is. It's basically super glue. And in the words of Buster Olney, basically it's like putting a lever or a lever, however you want to say it, on a baseball. And you are creating so much leverage that you are just ripping it down, and it is creating so much force and so much spin that it is basically like sending it out of a machine or having some type of a robotic lever attached to the ball to pitch it. That's how sticky this stuff is.
Well, I heard someone describe it as the stuff you put down, like the sticky rat traps, the mouse traps on the floor. That's maybe not quite that sticky to where obviously that animal is stuck there for until you throw it out. But
for guys to only do something like and then they can pull it out, and they're curveball,
and it makes a difference. Yeah, it makes a difference.
So I don't know, but also at the same time, it is funny that batting averages have gone up. I was about to say 11 points.
We're about to see
OBP has gone up almost 20 points.
About to see a 300% increase in bombs, maybe. I don't know, man.
I mean, I don't know. Coinky dink. We think not, but the jury's still out. We'll see what happens. I believe June 21st, they're like officially, all right, we're cracking down on the MLB now. No more games, no more joking around. We're implementing all the rules. I believe it's June 21st, but I don't think they've said anything officially in stone yet. I think that's just per Jeff Passan. So there you go there. I'm sure we are far out of the woods with the MLB.
Probably. I don't think this is the last time we'll be talking about this.
I don't think so, and I don't think this is the juiciest stuff we've had to talk about yet. You saw Garrett Cole. I don't really know how to answer that. That man sounded like a dude or like a little kid who just broke the chandelier playing football in the house and didn't want to tell mom he broke the chandelier. Mm-hmm. That's what he sounded like. Mm-hmm. I think there's plenty more pitchers who are feeling the exact same way and are feeling the heat and are like, what the shit do we do now?
Yep.
What do we do now? Because, mind you, 6 no-nos through the first month and a half of the season. Not a damn 1 cent.
Nope.
Not a damn 1 cent.
Carlos Rodon had 1 through 6 or 7 innings the other day, but then he lost it. But
struck out 9 too. Beautiful outing.
Yeah, he was down.
Beautiful outing from
good.
Odon.
He was good.
Yeah, give you a little, thanks. Give you a little tip there. But yeah, sheesh, I think we're far out of the weeds. But let's put the MLB to bed just for now and roll on over to the NBA. Stuff's starting to heat back up again as far as news, rumors, nonsense. Not only the games on the hardwood, but we got storylines and shit now developing outside of it. So now we got Game 4 between the Nets and the Bucks tonight. Game 5. I apologize. Yep. Game 5. So now it is tied 2-2, right?
We got 3 series tied 2-2 right now.
Wow. Okay. So, Jiminy Christmas. I accidentally tweeted out the wrong thing the other night that the Hawks were down 3-1.
Mm-hmm.
Or
3. You might have said 3-0.
Said 3-0. Said something wrong. If you needed any more freaking convincing that I just don't, I just watch for the fun of it and to cap it, and I like looking at the lines. If you needed any more convincing, I mean that's about it. But I'm back on track now. So Game 5 tied 2-2 between Nets and Bucks. Biggest news coming out here, the three-headed monster no more. Now, Kyrie officially ruled out tonight. Done. Harden, as of yesterday, ruled out. As of this morning, will test that hammy and see if he can go tonight, but it's not looking hot. So then that puts all of the pressure on the shoulders of Kevin Easy Money Maker Durant. Can he get the job done?
I've been torn on this all morning. I love Kevin Durant. He's one of my favorite players to watch. He is so damn good. And as you said, it's not looking good for Harden. If he does play, is it for sure that he's going to make it through the game? No. That's definitely going to be dangerous that he could tweak that hamstring. But as we've seen in the past, when he does play, he typically doesn't let up and go half speed. He typically goes pretty full 100% and looks pretty damn solid. But even if not, I don't know if I'm going to bet on it. I don't know that yet. But I do trust Kevin Durant. It's going to be a fan bet for me, so that's why I'm still wishy-washy on it and trying to stay away, because I don't know if I can take my fandom out of it for Kevin Durant. But I think he's got the juice, man. We're back home because the Nets defense has still been playing well, and now it's just a matter of finding some type of consistency on offense without Kyrie and James Harden. Obviously, they had it without James Harden, but now without Kyrie especially. And Kevin Durant, like you said,
somebody's got to run the show.
I think we're going to see Joe Harris has kind of been not a no-show the last couple of games, but he hasn't been really making an impact.
I don't know if he's point guard. I'm
not talking point guard. Yeah, no, I'm not talking point guard. I'm just talking about as a side scoring option, 2-3 scoring option aside from Kevin Durant. I think he's going to have to shoulder some of the load there and hit a few jumpers, because like I said, he hasn't really been making an impact. But if he can make an impact, then that's a big boost for them. Same thing with Blake Griffin, who, even if he's not scoring, he's been making an impact, man. And I'm really impressed and loving what I've been seeing from him, because he's playing solid defense on Giannis, and making him uncomfortable, forcing him to stay outside. You have to believe we're going to see Giannis decide not to take these 3-point jumpers when they're handing them to him, because he clearly wants to. But that's every time I've bet on the Nets a handful of games this series, and every time I see Giannis or Blake Griffin standing in the paint, Giannis out on the 3, I say, shoot it. Please shoot it. Please shoot it.
Every time.
And he does every time.
Because he thinks he can make it.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
And he's hitting like 25%. So it's...
It's stupid. It's stupid.
Yes.
And they came out great. Both games in Milwaukee. They got Giannis into the paint.
But yeah, that Milwaukee defense is the difference right now.
Yeah, they stepped up on the defensive end. I mean, if they can step up again on the defensive end, I think they got a good shot of stealing the game tonight in Brooklyn. But you look at the -4, and it's like, all right, everybody's going to be running to that. So then do you take Brooklyn plus 4.5 with the hopes that they can get it done without a full lineup? I don't know. Right. I damn near might have to wait around until about 3-4 o'clock tonight before 5 o'clock tonight before I even make a decision here.
Right. I want to dive into some numbers, because there are some numbers on for this Nets team with only having one of these stars. I don't know how many games Kevin Durant played without the other two alone. I don't know. I don't think that's much of a sample size, but I mean, there are still some solid numbers on this Nets team with only one of the guys in there. So I want to dive into some of that before I make a decision. decision. But either way, I don't know what I'm hoping for. Like I said, I think yesterday, if the Nets lose this, you can be damn sure that whether or not Harden's 100%, he's going to give it a go for Game 6. So.
Yeah, I would say so.
So anyways.
So there's tonight's game, but had some action last night. We had the Atlanta Hawks tie up the series with the Philadelphia 76ers. I hope you rode my +3 and maybe the money line sprinkle as well, because cash both those bad boys. And Hawks looked pretty doggone good towards the end of that game. Not good at all in the first half. Second half started off a little bit of the same, and then they started getting hot and finding themselves and making the stops where they needed it. So we'll see what happens. Game 5 back in Philly. I'm not too sure. I think the 76ers will get that, but then again, man, and you might have some opinions on this, but the few pictures and videos I saw floating around the internet last night, like Joel Embiid just looked unhappy and did not look healthy at all, man. He just did not look healthy.
Yeah, what the story of this playoffs, what seems to be shaping up is that whoever the healthiest team might be the last team standing or the last two teams standing.
Sure.
Because as you mentioned, he did not look great. He went 0 for 12 in the second half, and that was the biggest difference there. So, if he comes back and healthy, kind of like we saw in Game 2, then yeah, I think it's going to be the Sixers in 6, and definitely coming back home winning that Game 5. But if he's anything like he was tonight, or anything less, or anything close to that, the Hawks team has a damn fucking chance.
Yeah,
and they
and
caught
I think
fire.
they know that.
Yeah, and maybe this is just an example of I guess they split home and away, so. Maybe going forward, this could be a home court advantage type series, but I think it all depends on Embiid's health, if I'm being totally honest.
I think it does as well, man. And he I don't know. He didn't look right yesterday. And if the Hawks can figure out, they now know what they need to do. And if they can figure it out on the defensive side of the ball, then they got a pretty solid shot. And they need to stop opening up games going 0 for 30.
Yeah.
I mean, you just can't open up a game and go down by 15 and have to battle back in every time. I mean, you got to start hot and stay hot. That's the name of NBA playoff basketball. So we'll see if the Hawks can do it. I think they will. The Mr. $100,000 better or whatever the hell it was, still hanging on to his ticket.
I mean, shit, like I said, if some of these injuries keep playing out the way they are, who knows?
Yeah.
That's,
so we'll see. I mean, still hanging on to it. But other game of the night last night, Clippers absolutely destroyed the Jazz. I do apologize if you took the Jazz with me. They cooked them Game 3 and Game 4, partner.
Yeah, I think Derek Favors is still searching for his dignity after that Kawhi poster on him in the late second quarter, man.
I think so
Goodness gracious.
Yep. That
man is on a mission. I kind of said it yesterday. We obviously split. I faded you on both of the plays you had yesterday. We obviously split. But this Clippers team, when their back's against the wall, especially Kawhi Leonard, they turn things around. Paul George is going to be the biggest factor because Kawhi is going to be Kawhi and he's going to elevate his game. But if Paul George can play anything like he did this game and in Game 3, then this Clippers team not only has a chance in this series, but they've got a chance beyond that. And like I said, I don't know if we're going to see 2019 Kawhi Leonard that led the Raptors to the championship, but I'm not saying, but I'm saying, man, especially with the other injuries around the league, I don't know, but
it could be interesting for sure.
Fine, the first couple of weeks we had minimal storylines. That Hawks and Knicks series was awesome, but aside from that, these series and these games weren't that juicy. But now, man, 3 out of these 4 series, obviously the Suns done, but 3 out of the 4 going to Game 5 tied at 2, and I am all here for it.
Yeah, I'm here for it as well. We talked about it. NBA games kind of started off real slow, lackluster,
blowouts,
terrible. Turn it off after the first quarter, and now I think we're starting to see the teams who were supposed to be matched up with each other from the jump. Because 3 games tied 2-2, and what's the other one at?
Suns are done. They're up 4-0. Yeah. Suns are done.
That's all.
Suns in 4.
Suns in 4. That's all but a wrap. There you go. That's all but over. So, 3 games or 3 series still in the dead thick of things. So we'll be sure to give you coverage on all of that as well.
Speaking of the Suns in 4, the Suns in 4 guy, Devin Booker actually
tweeted at him or something.
Let me get this guy's info.
Yes, I'm looking forward to seeing what comes out about that as well. So we'll be sure if there's any hot news, definitely bring you guys that. And then wrapping up today's rants and reactions, Let's hit the NHL. Ice had a rough beat for my Habs last night. Lost 4-1 in Vegas.
It's a confidence level these days, pal.
Do I think it's an anomaly? Yes, I think it's an anomaly. I think that this was the first time that the Habs have played in front of any type of huge, electrifying crowd.
Yeah.
These Vegas Golden Knights obviously have already done it in Colorado and in Vegas. I think it's kind of a blip on the map. I think they bounce right back. I think it's no problem. Hell, they might even go down 2-0, freak everybody the hell out, and then come in and
Even
get that
crazier?
4-2 win.
I don't know.
I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. I'm still interested. Has there anything come out as far as travel for home
I
away,
honestly don't
yada,
know.
yada, yada?
I really don't know. I haven't heard much about it, so I
haven't either.
imagine they're staying. They're listed something, and they're in Montreal. Maybe someone else knows, but I for as much as I was interested in that, I didn't follow through following along the outcome of it.
Yeah, I didn't find out anything about that either as well, but maybe just a quick Canada USA bubble NHL, huh? See if we can find anything on this goofy thing. Remains for NHL playoff in Canadian cities. Yeah, this is all old stuff. Too much to dive into it, but I'm guessing they got it all figured out.
So.
I would imagine in order for
we
the
would have
series
heard
to
by
be
now
start-
if they were
Yeah.
playing it somewhere in America.
Yeah, the series are already starting, so I would imagine. But rough beat for the old Habbers. I think they bounce back in game 2, keep it a lot closer, and then if not get the outright win, at least go back home and then maybe tie this series up 2-2 if they don't come through in game 2. But I'm still high on the Habs. I'm not too worried about them. That's all right. One game, no big deal. 4-1. This is hockey, baby. We got plenty left to play. And then we got my Isles tonight, my friends. Definitely hammering them in, hammering them home. I love for them to take a commanding 2-0 lead here tonight, man, and go back to New York. And I think this is their opportunity to get the sweep.
Ooh. Okay.
I really do.
Okay.
I really do. Sweep the defending champs. What do you think about that?
Yeah, this is a series where I definitely don't have a side either way. I think I picked the Lightning last week to make it out of this series, but I'm 50-50 on it. Like I was saying earlier, I don't know who's going to win tonight, but I'm still shocked that those odds are plus 160 for the Isles. So
Well, it's the exact same odds
as
damn
game
near.
1. Yeah,
damn near.
basically.
Yeah, and I mean, like I said
They're
in my
really-
analysis,
yeah, I
the
mean-
Lightning never showed any flashes of being the Lightning against that defense. I think Barry Trotz has just what that Islanders team needs as a head coach. I don't know. And one other thing, shout out Matthew Friedman. I have a huge amount of respect for this guy's analysis. He's part of the Action Network. Huge amount of respect for Matt. But he wrote today that Barry Trotz and the Islanders are 62-57 as underdogs with an A-graded 20% ROI on per bet labs. So 20% ROI and that good of a record as underdogs. I mean, hey, give me all of Barry Trotz and the Isles here tonight, my friend.
Yeah, I mean, I think the strategy for someone like you would just be to take the Islanders for the entire series, and chances are you're going to come out positive units. So.
I would say so.
Yeah, so
I would say so at some point in time. So I know I'm usually more the windier one on the NHL side of things, where you're the NBA windy guy. So nothing really else to cover in the NHL. There's not anything crazy. If you guys are looking for great hockey coverage, we typically on our social media and stuff like that just cover betting across the board and the sports across the board, lines, and stuff sprinkled in between. If you want to follow some really quality hockey content, 2 gals who do absolutely amazing work at Slapshot Sweethearts on Twitter. Check them out. They're also on YouTube. They're on a bunch of different platforms. They just have some absolutely amazing content and have been doing live watch-alongs. I popped in one last night. Don't know if they'll watch it. I know they're not gamblers. I know they interact with us from time to time. If they ever see this or anybody's watching this that knows them, let them know, hey, absolutely amazing content. And if you guys want to check out some good content, watch a live stream or watch along, anything like that, go check out the girls over at Slapshot Sweethearts. So wanted to give them a shout out there in the NHL little section. So there you go. And last but not least, That about does it all of the sports. UFC, we got coming up this weekend. We got TKZ, the Korean Zombie, versus Dan Ige coming up this weekend. So pretty solid card. I haven't gone all the way through the card, but I am pretty excited about that main event.
Yeah, that's a good main event.
That should be real, real good. Definitely have the parlay for you on Friday. We'll go through the whole card, yada, yada. I'm pretty sure there's something coming up golf-wise this upcoming week.
Is this a major week?
Or next week? I can't exactly remember.
We got the U.S. Open coming up here.
It's coming around. Oh, this is Torrey Pines. So, yeah, this is the U.S. Open. This is coming up. This is the U.S. Open on Thursday. So...
Yes, it is.
Okay, so we got the U.S. Open coming up. We're going to have to...
gracious, we got something coming tomorrow then.
Son of a bitch. Yeah, we're going to have to... breaking news. Alert and announcement. Hold on to your potatoes. We'll have some U.S. Open bets. Some different stuff coming at you tomorrow. You got DeChambeau, the defending champ of the U.S. Open.
Is that what he sounds like? I don't think so.
I just I'm giving him shit because there's just so much freaking controversy surrounding him right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see what happens with DeChambeau. We'll see what happens with a lot of that field. It should be a good U.S. Open. So we'll definitely bring you some picks and some stuff. We'll do some analysis today. See what the hell we can find out there for you guys. Bring you some value tomorrow. Outside of that, partner, anything I missed, I skipped, any TTL updates, anything top of mind for you?
I don't believe so.
All right. Nothing I really can think about either here. Outside of that, just double checking. Yeah, everything looks good. We got some new things rolling out here shortly. We'll have some updates as maybe far as some dates, maybe give you a little more hints as far as what we got rolling out, planned, everything like that. So anytime we are not live or making content or anything like that, we are in the lab, in the background, doing things to make TTL Sports Media bigger and better. So rest assured, it's only going to keep getting better for each and every one of you. So suggest you stick around. Don't go anywhere. We ain't going anywhere. So we hope you don't either. But without further ado, why don't we just wrap up today's show? Just right about an hour and a half. Get it all done. Nice, quick, easy, quick little dose of some motivation minutes.
Go ahead.
All right. So for today, just had a quick little message for you. Nothing too over the top. Definitely a powerful message, but something that kind of segues and builds upon visualization and speaking into existence, my message from yesterday. And I had two quotes I wanted to share with you today and a little bit of the perspective behind them. So for the first quote, it states, "Your limitations are only your imagination." Now, when you think about that, anything that you put your mind to, you can achieve. It is the exact same way with limitations. Any limitation you have your mind set on, it will come true. Any limitation you put on yourself is going to stay there. Nobody puts limitations on you. And that's the key here. You might think they do. You might think that you have a limitation because of X, Y, Z, because of somebody else or some situation, but truthfully, you're the only one that puts limitations on yourself. Last time I checked, Mags don't have any power over me. He can't put any limitations on me. Last time I checked, there's really nobody in this world that can put any limitations on my ability to achieve, excel, advance, and grow. So when you look at it in that way, you start to be able to find that, wow, maybe I can really get rid of all the limitations in my life. Maybe I don't have to live a life limited by what's in my head, by things that are holding me back are fictitious and made up. So maybe it's time to start removing the limitations from your life here today. And as you start to go on that path, and as you start to realign your mindset and think in terms of I can and I will instead of I don't know and I shouldn't, you start to think in the right terms, and then you start to see walls fall down and break through barriers, and then the moon becomes the goal. Even past the moon becomes the goal, because then there are no limitations. You've taken all of them away, but then it might become a little bit scary. You're like, okay, There is a wild world out here. This is the world is my oyster now. I don't have any limitations, but hot damn, it is crazy out here, and I don't know what to do half the time. Well, just try. Just try. If you got a passion, you got a goal, you got a dream, whatever the case might be, if you got something you want to accomplish, go after it. And if somebody tells you that it's crazy or it might be going too far, I got a quote for you to tell them the next time they might say that to you. Only those willing to risk going too far can possibly find out how far one can go. T.S. Eliot said that, and it's my computer screensaver, and it has never left since I found that quote. Dare to go too far. Because I go too far on a daily basis, and I live a pretty successful life. Dare to go too far. Remove all the limitations from your life because your limitations are your imagination. Nobody puts them on you. There is no one or no thing that has any power over you, and you have the ability to remove all of those limitations from your life by simply being in the mindset that they do not exist. And you have the power and the ability to accomplish anything you set your mind to. And when the going gets rough, and when you don't know if you should keep going and if it might be too far, just remember, only those willing to risk going too far can possibly find out how far one can go. Go get after it today, my friends. I believe in you. You are kind. You are smart. You are important. That does it for my motivation minutes for today.
Good stuff, my man.
Appreciate it.
Good stuff. I thought you were going to go, you have a different saying than I was expecting you to say. When I do love this. This is better. I like this. Only those willing to go too far. You have a different saying because you were saying someone who tells you you're crazy, you're going too far. You have a different saying. I have two words for him, and it ain't happy birthday. That's what I thought you were going to say. I have two words for you, and it ain't happy birthday.
There's that, too. Give them the blades, as I always like to say.
Sure.
Drop them down. Ain't nobody giving me shit today, because I'm just giving them the blades left and right, all right? It's, you know what I'm saying? That's the mentality, all right? And then if they want to start shooting flaming arrows because they're a far-out attacking army, they don't like to have fist-to-fist combat with you, start snatching them sons of bitches out of the air and cracking them over your knee. Adversity, schmercity. We're out here just fucking up the game. We're out here making moves, making plays, and finding success. Centered, fulfilled, and happy. That's all we need, my friends. That's all we're doing. That's all we're trying to attain today, just a little bit of success. So hope I gave you some words that can help you get closer to that goal that we all are striving for every single day. So officially, there are my motivation minutes of the day. Whoo! All right, episode number 59, about to be in the books here, ladies and gentlemen. First things first, as always, thanks for hanging out, sticking around, talking some lines with a couple of goofy guys here. We appreciate it. Maybe I won't group Mags in with that. Just this goofy guy and this rather smart guy with a rather large brain. I'm just a goofball who talks into a microphone, and hopefully you enjoy what I put down. So there you have it. But as always, before we send you guys on out of here, partner, anything burning on the brain, melting on the heart, festering on the soul that you have been dying to get out to the folks that joined us on this beautiful June 15th, 2021.
So I've got a little bit of a old man yelling at cloud type thing coming today. A little bit of complaining to do.
All right.
I get, and I was telling you the other day, I get more spam calls and texts than anyone that I have ever met. And I know everyone gets a few here and there, and they complain about it, and they have their specific ones. You have the, this is the auto company. We have an important message. You've got, this is Amazon. Click this link for this thing. You've got the health company. You've got an actual person sometimes trying to sell you shit.
You got the sheriff's department now too.
You got the sheriff. I get all of them. I've gotten texts since we've been sitting here the last hour. I've gotten 5 calls this morning. I can't escape them. And it seems like the last few weeks it's been picking up. As the world reopens, apparently so do these scammers.
Yes. One thing I did notice though is, you know how there was that shit on the phone that maybe Junk silenced?
I do that too.
Why did that stop happening?
Sometimes I get a few every once in a while.
Why did that stop happening?
I'll go through here. The last 6, I've got 2 of them that get blocked for junk, and it tells me, and then I still get.
But they're not all getting blocked, and they should get blocked. So I think there is.
I got
also,
like a 10-to-1 call ratio of spam to actual person that I'm in my contact.
There's also actually something where like that silencing feature is like something that your phone company puts on there for you. And like it expires after a certain amount of time.
But I still get a couple.
I know, I do too. But like, shouldn't it be the whole every single damn one? Why are we doing 2 out of 15? Because as a matter of fact, it's funny you said that because I got 2 missed calls right now too. So it's funny.
I get texts. Those are the ones that drive me crazy. And half the time it's they'll call me Ricky, which isn't my name, and they'll say, "Hey Ricky, do you want to please your girlfriend tonight? Here's these, enlargement pills." It's that type of stuff.
All right.
There's been some laughs. Sometimes some of those will be actually funny, and it'll just be like, "Oh my god, what are you sending me?"
To telemarketers and scammers, I am Lynn Padula. Lynn Padula.
I'm Ricky.
So yeah, maybe that was one time a while back ago I messed with a scammer and told him I was Lynn Padula, because from here on out, I have been Lynn Padula for the longest time. I don't know where I ever got that name or that number, but
I think it's about time I changed my damn number. I've had it.
I think it's about 13. Time we wage war on these scammers. Can we find them? Is there anybody out there, any white hat scammers that are trying to get a little extra scratch on the side? We'll hire you as a hitman. We'll figure something out in between here, all right? But we got to get this knocked off because per Riley Magnuson on episode number 59 of the TTL pod, these scammer calls are getting fucking out of control. Mm-hmm. They need to stop. You heard it here first.
Out of control, dude.
You heard it here
out
first.
Of control.
Nothing else to say, but I agree. It is absolutely ridiculous. I have actually gotten a few here myself as well. So before I get even hotter on the subject, let's toss it to the side.
Okay.
And as always, ladies and gentlemen, degenerates, gamblers, far and wide. From myself and Mags, we thank you so much for stopping by episode number 59, stopping by every episode of the TTL pod, for all of your support, all of your following, your likes, your comments, your shares, and everything in between. We cannot tell you how much we appreciate it. We do this for you day in and day out. We spend a bunch of our time just to produce this little bit of content. So we can't thank you enough for all of your feedback and all of your support. And we're only going to keep doing this every single day and rolling out bigger and better things for you in the coming days, weeks, months, and years. So stick around. Don't go anywhere, as always, because we ain't going anywhere, and we absolutely love you guys, so we're just going to keep rocking and rolling for you. But without further ado, as per usual, we hope you have a spectacular rest of your Tuesday. Unless you have other plans, let's cash some tickets.